If you ask an Arsenal fan what their greatest achievement as a club is, every one of them will say is the Golden Premier League title, which they got because they went undefeated for a whole season. Which is an incredible achievement. Nobody has been able to replicate it after 20 years. Nobody. And they made it possible with a team that had the spine of Thierry Henry, Bergkamp, Vieira and Campbell. Golden scars from top to bottom. And they had a revolutionary manager, Arsene Wenger. Honestly, they had figured out English football. They knew how to handle English teams. No English teams could beat them. 38 matches played, 26 wins, 12 draws and 0 losses. That is truly... They didn't stop there. They extended it to the next season. They went 9 games unbeaten, 49 games in total of not experiencing a defeat. That is crazy. Going down in history as one of the greatest runs by an English team. Never been replicated again in English football. And football fans, especially Arsenal fans, still talk about it to this day, even after 20 years. As they should. It's an incredible achievement which will probably never be replicated ever. But a lot of people don't talk about the game that ended this invincible run.
They're unbeaten, not unbeatable.
To really understand the occasion and the importance of this match, we have to go back September 21st, which is dubbed as the Battle of Old Trafford. United and Arsenal were at the peak of the rivalry. The hatred toward each other was immense. The players didn't like each other. The managers hated each other.
This Arsene Wenger's had a swipe at Manchester United again today. He's got plenty to say. We should maybe concentrate on Ian Wright's tackles maybe rather than talk about Manchester United.
And the fans, they were at each other's throats. It was a mutual hatred from both clubs. Even to this day, people regard it as the greatest rivalry in English football. This was peak Barclays. The title race was ongoing between United, Chelsea and Arsene. So this match was a way to have a chance of winning the title. United were struggling during this period. They still had incredible players like Scholes, Keane, Rio and their superstar striker Ruud van Nistelrooy. But they still didn't have the extra oomph that you need to beat this Arsenal invincible team. The game started. It was tense, but it was boring. Both the teams were more interested in hitting and tackling each other than actually playing football. But even though United were not playing good and Arsenal were also not playing good, United get a penalty. In the second half, they get a penalty. This was a gift to win the match and to end Arsenal's invincible run. And obviously, there was only one guy who was gonna step up to take that penalty. The original Mr. UCL, Ruud van Nistelrooy. But the thing is, he was feeling shaky. He missed 2 penalties before this penalty. He was not really assured of himself. But still, every Manchester United fan and every Manchester United player still believed in him. They still believed in their superstar striker. Ruud steps up, but before Ruud could even take the penalty, there was drama. There was fighting, as there always is between Arsenal and United. But we can see Ruud trying to clear his head before he takes the penalty. He furiously beats down the penalty spot and then he puts the ball. The same routine he has done thousands of times before.
Van Nistelrooy. Oh, he's missed it! He has hit the bar!
Yes, he did miss. This is one of the biggest misses of his whole entire career. The entire Arsenal team would celebrate, especially Martin Cohen. He would celebrate in front of the Dutch strike. That was pure disrespect. But Ruud van Nistelrooy only had himself to blame for it. He had the chance to end the Invincibles. No golden trophy if Ruud didn't miss this penalty. That was the battle at Old Trafford. Arsenal and United drew. Arsenal still undefeated. They went on to win the Premier League. They went on to win the Golden Premier League undefeated. And this game was just another statistic in their 12 draws. So next season, Ferguson knew they had to do something. They had to add something into their team to take them to the next level. So next season, they bought the English wonder kid, the white Pele, Wayne Rooney, at only 19 years old. Now, United had a young Ronaldo and a young Wayne Rooney in their team with Ruud van Nistelrooy, Paul Scholes, and Keane and Rio. They had a really stacked lineup with Ryan Giggs on the left, Ronaldo on the right. It was stacked. And Arsenal, they were already really stacked. They were already an invincible team. They went on a 9-game undefeated streak again until they met Manchester United. No English team had beaten them in 49 games. Now this was the 50th game. If they win against Manchester United or even draw, they would go on a record 50 undefeated games. And United, they couldn't let their rivals beat them in 50th undefeated match and also quite possibly win Premier League again. So the match begins. It was really tense. It is really stressful between the both teams. And as always, there was intensity. There was good football this time around. Both of the teams knew they had to go at each other's throats. Subpar performances would not let them win this time. And then in the second half, like it was a repeat from the last match. And Wayne Rooney, with his skills, wins a penalty. And who else but United's star striker, Ruud van Nistelrooy, steps up again. Even though he missed the last time, even though his penalty record was shaky, he steps up.
You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done there. But the time is hit you, you're not surprised.
But this time, he does not miss. Drives the ball inside the net and he celebrates in front of all the Arsenal players, in front of the jubilant Old Trafford crowd. Even though Ruud had this moment, which was the biggest moment of the match. Everybody remembers this moment. The actual MVPs of that match were Wayne Rooney, 19-year-old, and Rio Ferdinand, the best centre-back in the country. Rio Ferdinand was just back from a 6-month drug ban, but he fit right in. He kept Thierry Henry quiet most of the game. He kept Dennis Bergkamp quiet most of the game. He had an immense, gigantic performance from Rio Ferdinand. And then in the 90th minute, Wonder Boy Rooney scores his first Premier League goal for Manchester United, beginning his career, which would go on for another 20 years. And he would end up as the top scorer of Manchester United. Everybody knows Wayne Rooney's career. But it all started from this match, from this goal. And then the whistle came. Arsenal were invincible no more. They were no more the undefeated giants. United had beaten them in almost a year and a half. The first English team to beat the Invincibles. And it was even more bittersweet because their rivals had beaten the Invincibles. This game would go down as one of the classics of the Barclays era. One of the classics of the United and Arsenal rivalry. And I just wanted you guys to experience it as well. And this game will never be forgotten. Ever.
The moment he pointed to give the penalty, I was like, oh my God, here we go. And I was never not gonna take it. I mean, this was like the moment I had to do it and to show what I was about.